Throughout human history, the most dangerous individuals have never been the ones who shout the loudest or make the biggest scenes. They are rarely aggressive on the surface. They don't arrive with threats. They don't announce their intentions. Instead, they move quietly. They observe. They wait. They operate behind smiles, inside conversations, through subtle psychological control. And by the time you realize what they truly are, the damage is already done. But here's the truth the Stoics understood long ago. No matter how carefully someone hides their true nature, they always leave patterns behind. Clues, behavioral fingerprints, signs that, if you are paying attention, reveal who they really are beneath the mask. Have you ever felt that something about someone just didn't feel right? That despite their charm, something was calculated? That despite their words, something felt cold? Have you ever been manipulated, gaslit, or made to doubt your own memory, your own logic, your own perception of reality? Have you ever felt that someone didn't just hurt you, but somehow took satisfaction in it? The Stoics believed wisdom begins when we stop seeing people as we wish they were and start seeing them exactly as they are. Today, we will break down 5 disturbing psychological and behavioral signs that reveal truly dangerous people. Those who manipulate, lack empathy, twist reality, enjoy suffering, and justify wrongdoing for their own benefit. By the end of this video, you won't just recognize them, you'll understand them, you'll see them clearly, and most importantly, you'll know how to protect your mind, your peace, and your life. This is Stoic Pathway, where ancient wisdom meets modern reality. If you're searching for truth, clarity, and inner stability in a chaotic world, you're exactly where you're meant to be. Let's begin. 1. They manipulate others for personal gain. Evil people don't just manipulate, they make it look normal, natural, almost invisible. They don't force you. They guide you without you noticing. They twist words, reframe situations, and alter emotional dynamics so subtly that you start believing you chose it, even when you didn't. But here's what makes it dangerous. They feel no remorse. For them, manipulation isn't just dishonesty. It's a strategy, a tool, a method of control. They'll guilt trip you into compliance. They'll play victim when they are clearly the aggressor. They'll show you just enough affection to keep you emotionally dependent, then withdraw it when you stop serving their needs. This creates a psychological hook, a push and pull, a cycle of confusion and self-doubt. And when you finally confront them, suddenly you're too sensitive, you're overreacting, you're the problem. This is called gaslighting, making you question your perception so they don't have to take responsibility. Let me give you a real example. Have you ever met someone who never actually apologizes? Instead of accountability, they say things like, "I only said that because you provoked me." You're imagining things. You took it the wrong way. Notice what's happening. They're shifting ownership away from themselves and placing it onto you. The bottom line is simple. If someone constantly bends reality to benefit themselves and leaves you doubting your own thoughts, memories, or feelings, distance is survival. Because manipulators don't change, they just evolve. They refine their techniques. They get better at hiding. The Stoic response: awareness, boundaries, distance, no debate, no emotional wrestling, just clarity and withdrawal. 2. They lack genuine empathy and real compassion. Evil people don't just ignore suffering. They see it as an opportunity. Where others feel empathy, they see leverage, power, a weakness to exploit. To them, people aren't individuals with inner worlds. They are tools, assets, replaceable resources. They may pretend to care. They can imitate concern convincingly. But real empathy requires emotional depth, something they simply do not possess. A Stoic would tell you, watch behavior, not words. Do they offer support without expecting something back? Do they show compassion when it costs them convenience? Do they sacrifice comfort for someone else's well-being? Or do they only care when it benefits them? True empathy shows up in action, not in speeches. Evil people become irritated by vulnerability. They downplay pain. They view misfortune as inconvenience rather than tragedy. And if they ever hold power, emotional, social, financial, they use it for themselves first. Always, not sometimes, always. The Stoic response? Do not try to fill an emotional void with your own energy. Do not seek warmth from someone who is psychologically incapable of it. Some people are hollow, and trying to heal them will only drain you. Instead, observe, accept, detach, and invest your trust only in those who prove through consistent action that they are capable of human depth. Because a person without empathy isn't just unkind, they are spiritually and psychologically dangerous. 3. They constantly twist the truth. A virtuous person seeks truth, even when it's uncomfortable. An evil person reshapes truth to protect their interests. They don't care about reality. They care about control over perception. They distort facts. They omit critical details. They blend truth with lies, creating stories that are just believable enough to manipulate. Not because they are confused, but because deception benefits them. Stoicism teaches, truth is simple. It doesn't need drama. It doesn't need constant defense. But manipulators tell dramatic stories. They speak with confidence. They perform certainty. And because humans respond to conviction, people believe them. Have you ever noticed how they change narratives based on who they're talking to? One story for you, another for someone else, always positioning themselves as the victim or the hero, never the one at fault. This isn't coincidence, it's strategy. Their goal is not truth. Their goal is control of perception. The Stoic response? Do not argue endlessly with liars. You cannot defeat dishonesty in their arena. Instead, stay grounded. Observe inconsistencies. Keep emotional distance. Because lies collapse on their own. And truth doesn't need your defense. It stands firm without noise. 4. They take pleasure in the misfortune of others. A good person feels discomfort when others suffer. An evil person feels satisfaction, not because they are strong, but because they are internally empty. They laugh at failure. They enjoy humiliation. They gossip about downfall. They celebrate weakness, not openly always, but their patterns reveal it. The Stoics understood this deeply. Those who cannot build will always seek to destroy. People who lack inner purpose, discipline, and self-respect feel threatened by others' growth. So they try to tear down what they cannot become. Watch carefully. When someone stumbles, do they offer support? Or do they smirk behind silence? Do they help you up? Or do they enjoy the fall? Cruelty and envy are deeply connected, and those ruled by them will always sabotage rather than improve. Stoicism teaches, do not become like them. Do not waste energy resenting them. Revenge is a trap. Instead, focus entirely on your own upward path. Because the most devastating response to someone who enjoys suffering is refusing to give them more suffering to enjoy. Your peace is a crime to them, and that's power. 5. They justify immorality as necessary or righteous. Evil never presents itself as evil. It disguises itself as logic, as necessity, as sacrifice for the greater good. Truly dangerous people, they don't see themselves as villains. They see themselves as misunderstood heroes. They excuse cruelty with reasons. They justify deception as strategy. They reframe harm as protection. History is filled with people who committed horrific acts, not out of chaos, but under the illusion of moral righteousness. The Stoics warned about this specifically. When someone begins to justify unethical behavior through grand language, they have already abandoned virtue. A good person does the right thing, even when it costs them comfort. A corrupt person changes morality whenever it becomes inconvenient. If an action requires constant justification, if it demands secrecy, if it relies on harm, then it is not virtue, no matter how beautiful the words sound. The Stoic response? Never let someone else's twisted morality drag you away from your own principles. Never trade clarity for approval. Never sacrifice truth for comfort. Because character is not measured by what you say, but by what you refuse to become. Finally, know this. Evil is not loud, it is subtle. It hides behind charm, logic, and moral pretense. But now you know the patterns. Manipulation, lack of empathy, twisted truth, pleasure and suffering, justified immorality. Once you see them, you can unsee them. And the Stoics would remind you, you can't change the nature of others, but you can govern how close they get to your mind. Do not try to fix them. Do not argue with them. Do not let their darkness infect your peace. Observe, detach, stay disciplined, walk away with dignity. Because true power is not defeating evil people. It's refusing to become one. Now I want to hear from you. Have you encountered someone like this in your life? How did you deal with them? Comment below. I read every single one. If this message gave you perspective, hit like and share it with someone who might need it. And if you're on a path toward clarity, self-mastery, and Stoic strength, subscribe so you never miss a lesson. Keep your mind sharp, guard your peace, and keep walking the Stoic pathway. If you found value in this, consider sharing it with someone who could benefit. And don't forget, a simple like goes a long way in spreading Stoic wisdom. For more insights on philosophy, personal growth, and the art of clear thinking, subscribe and turn on notifications. Stay strong, stay mindful, and above all, stay Stoic. See you in the next video.